All right. Okay, I think we're doing good. Let's bring this up. Okay, there we go. Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Sorry it took so long. No, I don't need any mods. Thank you for asking, but we're good on mods. Okay, we are going to be starting that guy. Might as well connect this while I'm at it. All right, we're going to bring it in. What's up, Red Squeak? How you doing? Okay. Let's put these two together. All right, we got to do the ghosty dog. I'm going to see if Wendy's popping back on. So we will see. What's up, Karen? How are ya? Kevin, thank you for the "you're awesome." Jeremy, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate it. Okay. What's up, Dragonfly? Dragonfly's in the house. Red Squeak's in the house. Kevin Book is in the house. Oh man, it is cold. All right. So while we're waiting at the moment, I will... Oh, crap. I got to grab one more thing. I'm so sorry. I'll be right back. I forgot to grab blue. Forgot to grab my blue. Running out of skinny blue. I actually have to order some. I'm doing good. Okay, so yeah, this is how it comes all packaged up like that. I think this is only 3 pounds. But yeah, this is how it comes. Little silicone wrap in it. I'll put the rest of that away later. Anyway, Kevin, I should have your box off. I've been putting together some stuff for you, as we had talked about. Okay, hold. Let me warm up my hands for 1 second. It's cold. Oh my God, it's cold. Just warm up for 1 second. So sorry. Woo. My goodness. Okay, let's get rolling. All right, I'm hoping Wendy pops on because we're going to make her a ghost dog, but if not, it's okay. I will start off with... God, I don't know what to do until then. All right, we'll just do something else. We're going to grab this. And a little bit of this. Right here. Yeah, it is. It is freaking cold tonight. It's a little bit of glass. Just a little bit. Just some freaking glass. We're going to do a silver fume on this blue. So we're going to create this blue into a whole different color. There's Wendy. So sorry, Wendy, I was running behind. Now that you're on, we can make Ghost Dog. Still have to wait for this to cool down. No, I'm so sorry. Things got behind. All right, we're making Wendy's Ghost Dog, so let's get it done. First thing we're going to do is make the little ears. And then we'll start with everything else. By the way, if you guys are not following Kevin's book on TikTok, you should give Kevin a follow. He wrote an amazing book. It's based on his true life experiences as an investigator looking into crimes against children and horrible crimes. Oh my God, Chris. Is it Christian? Man, your chat's going so fast, I can't even read it, my friend. Christian, thank you so much for the jewels. You had it going so fast, I couldn't even keep up. All right. Oh my God, Christian. You made my night, my friend. Anyway, you guys should be following Kevin's book. He actually has some really cool live streams and talks a lot about his experiences. So I think it's highly recommended to go check it out. And then we got Dragonfly Creation on at the moment, who is a fellow lamp worker glassblower. And she is in her beginning stages, getting into intermediate very fast. But what makes it nice for watching is you get to see someone progress over time. And that's a pretty rare experience. And then we got the awesome mod Red Squeak over on TikTok. Red Squeak doesn't let anything squeak by. I just made that up. Then I don't know if Groves is on, but Groves is also a mod. Cruising is also a mod. I know, that was funny, Red Squeak, gotta admit. All right, so we're gonna flatten this out. So right now we're in the process of making the Ghost Dog. This one is pre-sold. So, nope, you may not buy this one. But we can make you one very close to it. Yeah, I thought it was pretty snazzy. Not bad for me. Late at night. Oh, the flying pig is absolutely one of my favorites. I think, Kevin, you have a flying pig, don't you? I think we made you a custom one with the blue and silver fume. All right, so let me pull this ear down. So we basically take that flat little bit and then we're going to start shaping. So there is ear number 1 that we got going on. Oh, this is the first time you're seeing it made? Oh, yeah. You're going to love it then. It's a little different than everything else I've done. They're doing the body is way different than I normally do things. I remember the first time I was trying it, I was a little hesitant. How much gas do you go through? Not much, honestly. I go through maybe 1.5 gallons of propane a day, and that's a day. My dog passes more gas than I use, so. All right, we're gonna break this down. Man, when this gets to this size, it wants to really fall. All right, so we got the white disc that we start off with, and then we're gonna grab it and pull it into the ear shape. So we're just going to grip it here and we're going to pull it out nice and even. About like that. You can see it's just pulled nice and flat. Then we're going to take it here and give it a little bit of a bend. Then give it a major bend. About like that. So that is the ear for the ghost dog down here. So those are, both ears are currently made and ready to go. Next step is we have to do the bottom of the mouth first. No, actually we don't. We can make the head first. That's okay. We can make the entire head first. We'll grab this one. So we're going to form the head part right now. What's up, Daisy girl? I should find a way to recycle that dog gas. Man, let me tell you, I have not had good luck with giant schnauzers that don't pass gas. Every giant schnauzer I've had passes the worst gas. Like, damn. And while that farmer's dog is really healthy for the dogs, they definitely give it gas. Oh my God, Chris! Thank you so much for the jewels. Thank you. Thank you for all those jewels. Christian, I appreciate it. Logan, thank you for the jewels. Hey, Colleen. All right, so let's build this up. This is going to be the fun part. This ghost dog is actually kind of fun to make. I have to admit, it is kind of fun. Only because it's different. It's going to consume a lot of this rod, though. Watch how little is left of it. That's going to be the crazy part, how little of it will be left. All right, we're building and building and building. Okay, before we get to shaping it anymore, I have to round this end off. Okay. bring it out, pull off a little bit of that clear, like that. Let's round it off. Yeah, right about there. Now we can put a little attachment. So I can actually shape the head. Give it a little bend. About like that. Okay, we're going to separate this clear again. Clean it up just a little bit. So now we're left with this angle right here. Christian, thank you so much for the jewels. Deborah, thank you for the jewels. Okay, next step is we're got to flatten it out a little bit. I know I have a flattener around here, but I buried it under all these glass rods. So we got to take it here and just give it a little flatsy spot. So just a little flat spot right underneath, and then the next thing is going to be to add the mouth to it. Set that off to the side. Flatten it out. But y'all are getting a step-by-step instruction tonight. Bring that out. Okay, now we just have to meld them together. Okay, we're looking good. Let's blend all that in. And we're looking good. All right, so now we got the mouth and the head kind of formed right there. I'm going to open that up just a touch, though. It's a little close. There, that's better. Now you can see an open mouth running around on it. All right, let's pop the ears on. Okay, we're looking fantastic, actually. I'll show you something that a lot of people miss. What's up, Christy? All right, right where that ear is attached, there is a little ridge in there. And a lot of people miss blending that in. And it only takes a second to get it blended in. Like that. Now it's completely fused in there and it looks like one solid piece. And that's something a lot of people miss when they start out making glass. And like when I train people, I always make sure they understand that's really important right there. All right, let's grab this here. Okay, we're going to attach it to the ear. Right there. Then we're going to separate the top part of the nose. Like that. Then we're going to grab us some orange and add in, what's up? T-Bone, what's up? How are ya? And here we go. We're going to add in the orange for the pumpkin nose. Set that off to the side. Look how glowing that is right now. Okay, last stage. What did I do with the... There we are. Gotta put some eyeballs on. All right, we're getting somewhere. Now we got the head all built. So this is the head, and now we just have to build the body. We are making this right there. Gonna pop that off to the side. Actually, I'm gonna try and use all this up. I am going to need one extra tool. Scissors. So now I'm building the body to the ghost dog. But I need all this extra glass. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Well, you've always been so awesome on here. I wanted to make sure we did something cool. Okay, here we go. Plus, I love making this little ghost dog. Brandon, that's a lot more than I can talk about in a live stream. You'd have to send me a message. I can direct you to the right places to get all the information you could possibly want. That's just way too much to talk about on live. I can give you basics, but yeah, there's a treasure trove of places you can go to research and understand where to purchase, what to purchase, all that fun stuff. Just have to message me. And we're just going to bring it in and start pushing it all together. Yeah, we are doing 0. I love this. This is like one of my favorite things right now. What's my favorite thing to eat? Oh, I don't know. Anything that has a potato. There you go. Most people love chocolate and stuff like that. Me, I'm a damn sucker for a potato. And it's not the healthiest thing in the world either. That's the part that sucks. You know, but you asked. Yeah, I would much rather have a baked potato than a chocolate cake any day of the week. I'm always chewing on Mentos. I used to have the Neuro gum, but it got really expensive. All right, so I gotta, I'm probably gonna have to use the rest of this up here. I forget how much glass this consumes. Grab it here. There we are. There's probably a faster way of doing this too, but I don't know that way. I just know the way that works for me, and this one is very consistent and effective. It looks good when it's done. But I'm sure there's a quicker way of doing this. We are making the 0. If you freeze them, they become healthier. Wouldn't that be kind of hard to eat? All right, we're just going to consume the last of this little bit of rod right here. I think that'll do it. That will definitely do it right there. Okay, so first step, I got to form the neck area up here. Got to pull it a little bit thinner. Going to bring it down. Do a little plastic surgery on glass here. There, so this will form the neck area, a little bit more yet. Let's bring it down, there we go. That's the way to do it. Oh, it changes the chemistry in potatoes, okay. You wish you had gotten into this younger? Well, what's stopping you now? There is no age limit to learning this. Absolutely none. Could I make an octopus? Absolutely. Okay, let's go. So this is the neck area. We're gonna do my magic here. This is why I was saying this part is a little different. I'm sure there's a faster method and a better method for this, but I just don't know it yet. I did find my other filter, by the way. So my glasses act like this. They are filtering out all that bright, super bright light there. Versus that. This is probably the better one. This one shows it better. It's a little darker version of that filter for my glasses. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna bring it down. Doesn't look like it should be the body of the dog, right? I like that plastic surgery. That is funny as hell, Des. I'm gonna have to borrow that. That is funny as hell. All right, let's go. So we're gonna start popping this all the way around. So now we just created this little skirt, okay? And I just have to find the right section that I want to do this in, which is right there. We're going to take some scissors and we are going to slice and dice right here. We're going to cut that glass like that. Okay, we just cut right down the middle. Then at one section at a time, we're just going to heat it up. Grab it. And pull it forward. Like that. So that's, we just pulled one section forward. God, it almost looks like a Millennium Falcon. All right, I'm gonna heat up the other section. Gonna grab it here. Right there. There. So now we got the two little legs coming off. You can see the resemblance right there. Okay, this is the hardest part. This is the tail. Oh, wow. Thank you, Nana Beth. All right, here we go. So we're pulling it down. And up. Okay, we're going to separate it right here. And then I'm going to have to reattach a tiny little punchy rod to it. Going to give it a little curvature. So there, you can see the body is completed like that. Make sure it sits. Yep. We're gonna chunky monkey it off. What's up, everybody? Yeah, this is 31 years for me. It's crazy. It sure as heck doesn't feel like it, though. It really, really doesn't. Okay, so next step, we got to pull this forward just a touch. And here we go. I love making this one. It's slow to make, but it's worth it. Bring it down just a little. It's way too long. Okay, so we are lined up like that. Last step is we have to add in the little red collar. Now this, unfortunately, goes completely transparent. You can see that little middle section. That is actually the red glass. But it goes completely transparent while it's hot. And then as it starts to soak in the kiln, it comes back to its red. But for right now, it's going to stay pretty transparent. It's a tricky color. So we're just going to add a little blob there. And we're going to bring it down and flatten it as best as we can. Like that. So that will be nice and red later. And let's grab the head and assemble it. You line everything up. Yep. And there we go. Just got to pull this off a little. I feel like Gumby right now. I'm like bending in a way I shouldn't be bending. And there we go. We got the little ghost dog all completed. And you can see the collars coming back to a little bit of red right there. I'm going to park this in the kiln, then I will remove the tail section in just a little while. I gotta make sure it sits. Ah! God damn it. Well, I guess I'm gonna make sure it sits now. All right, so that was a forced detach. I guess it didn't want to wait, had a mind of its own. But we do need to get it in the kiln. No, I don't make any of those. I don't have a problem with the industry. I just don't make any of them. There's a lot of people. If you really want one, I can refer you to people that make that. Tracks right for your life. No, it's all good. Wendy, it's perfect. No, I don't make any of those. No bongs, no dongs. But like I said, I don't have a problem with the industry at all. No, the first thing I would honestly recommend someone making are just basic ornaments and mushrooms. Yeah, those are the two basic items I would recommend. You want to see the next item I would recommend? I'll make it for you. I'll show you one of the first items I would highly recommend. to make. And it's going to look overcomplicated, but it's really not. But the reason I would honestly train on this, we're going to make a hummingbird. The real reason I would train on a hummingbird first is because it has so many different processes in it that once you make a hummingbird, you could pretty much make anything. Let's make a hummingbird real quick. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. We'll just do a great example of it. Let me clear some stuff off. We'll use a cobalt body. And we're going to actually spike in some green on this. We're going to make it look freaking cool as hell. We're going to intertwine some color. Make a small purse. Actually, thank you for reminding me of that. I do need to make a purse. Okay, one of my mods, if you could send me a message to remember to make a purse. I need to make a purse. Yes. I can't imagine that's just not expensive. No, it's really, the flame isn't that expensive. Thank you, Red Scrape. All right, so we're going to intertwine some of this green into the blue. I'm just going to randomly toss it in here. We're going to throw it around. Thank you, Nana Beth. All right, so we're just kind of randomly throwing some green in here. Going to spin it around. I'm going to cover how to make an entire hummingbird right now. We're going to just do it. Okay. So first step number one, we're going to come through and we're going to make a little egg shape. Okay. Going to start off with a little egg. And then we're going to create yeah, I don't do the birds on a wire because I don't like adding wires in there. It just limits it. Thank you, Christy. All right, so the first part of doing this is we got to create a template. This is going to be where the tail is going to go. So you're just going to get it hot, leave this one semi-cold, grip it, and pull. Like that. Okay, so that created my template. I'm not trying to make, I'm going to make a hummingbird. I don't try, I do. So that is my template. That tells me where the tail needs to go. And I think we're just going to have to do it out of green. I was going to use a different color, but we're going to have to use green. So when you start making hummingbirds, I don't recommend you use any tools. Everything should be freehand, and this is why I recommend hummingbirds. So we're going to freehand the tail. There's nothing wrong with using a tool to make parts, but I think it's better to freehand it and learn it this way. Okay. So we just manufactured the tail right there. And it is literally layers stacked on top of each other. No, I don't fold. I've never have. All right, we're gonna attach a little punty on the back. Christy, thank you for the money gun, Christy. No, no judgment. All good. All right, now we're gonna create the simulated hummingbird head. How much for a full setup? Your beginning setup is going to be about 2,500 to 3,000. That's a starter set, if you will. If you can find a kiln on the used market, you can save a little bit of money. All right, we got to put a hook on here. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Link. All right, here we go. We're going to add in the hook. So this thing has to hang. Doesn't necessarily have to, but I like them hanging. And we just attach a little loop there. Like that. So this is where it will hang from. Handy little loop. And now my favorite part, which are the wings. So this is one of the things that I pride myself on, is being able to do the wings. And again, no tool, freehand, everything. Link, thank you so much for the jewels. Gaming, thank you so much. Thank you for the jewels. All right, let's go. So we're going to start by making the wings. One at a time. All right, got to smooth that out. Make it. John, thank you so much for, oh my God, thank you for all those jewels. You guys are rocking it tonight. There's the wing. Again, absolutely no tools needed. This is why I always say this is one of the first items I recommend. This wing, this tail, this body. Samuel, thank you so much for all the jewels. My God, you guys are rocking. Thank you. Thank you so much. I actually feel like I'm doing something here. All right, we're going to do wing number 2. This one is the one that gives you a little more complicated situation because it constantly wants to fall into the bird. So you have to take just a minute to let it settle before removing the glass rod. So of the 2 wings, this is the slower one. And here we go. And then we're going to fuse that in. Get it to balance out with the other one on a bend. And there we go. So there are the 2 little wings floating around in there. And again, this is why I like this as a beginner item. NGU, thank you so much. Your mom, thank you. God, I hate saying that way, but I'm going to have to thank you anyway. I absolutely describe what I'm doing. Why don't I explain how I'm making the wing? It's complicated. There's a lot more. I can't explain it and show it to you at this camera angle. You're missing like half of the process. At this camera angle, you're missing half the process. There we go. Now we got the little beak. Now the main thing is when you put this beak on, you want to go underneath the head, not in the front. If you put it in the front, you got a Pinocchio bird. You want to have a hummingbird, not a Pinocchio. Name a car for an edit, you go. And now we got some eyeballs. Now this is why I love this color. Watch this. See those wings? Watch. I love that shimmer. But it allows you to see the detail in there. But yeah, that's kind of the way I always say a beginner piece. This is a great beginner item. This was the very first item I learned to make that was sellable. So this was the first item I made that I could really sell. It wasn't as refined as it is now, but yeah. When I was first making them, the wings would fall off. Yeah, it wouldn't be unusual to have a wing just right off. It was like crazy, but yeah, there you go. See? I'm gonna bring this out. I got to move some stuff in my kiln. 1 second. I got to make some room. Hold on. My kiln is completely inundated. There we go. That's better. Well, I had a lot of luck. I learned from my mother. Thank you, Christy. So my mom started when I was 2 years old, and I got very lucky having a parent that was a glass artist, and I know that it was a distinct advantage in learning. Yeah, the hummingbirds are $20. And that's why I said they're good items, because they are not super expensive to sell and they will keep you going. They're good, sustainable items. How much is the octopus? Mine are pretty expensive. They're like $200, $250. I don't do any tiny little octopus. Mine are huge. I don't like making little tiny ones because they seem like they're gonna fall apart. So we're gonna do a quick thing with some scrap glass here. We got a little bit of the white. We're gonna mix it up a little. So a lot of times I take all these little bits and we throw them into grab bag boxes or mystery boxes. And sometimes I just throw them in random orders. Like this item I'm making right now. It's just going to be a quick heart, like a little heart pendant. And I'll throw this into a random box that gets shipped. Okay, we got amber, purple, and white. Now this will take me under 5 minutes to complete. So we got the amber purple there. And we're going to come through and we're going to flatten. I know it doesn't look like anything right now, but it will look good in the end. All right. I got a kamikaze bug. I got a kamikaze bug. Okay, so next step was we have to grab a little bit down here. We're going to grab it, burn it off, melt it out a little bit. Then we're going to take some scissors and we're going to cut straight down the middle. There we are. Remove this excess here. Tap it off. Okay, so this little top part here, we're going to take some scissors and we're going to slice right down the middle. If you ever never seen glass cut before, this is a lot of freaking fun. I have to tell you, this part is hella fun. It's a little satisfying snipping this thing. Like that. Okay, so we just sliced and diced it in half right there. Now we're just going to come through and you guys want to see the Christmas turtle here in a second? I'll show it to you. Let me finish this. I'll show you the Christmas turtle. It's sitting right behind me. Okay, so you got these wonky lobes. I purposely really went odd on them. I'm going to show you why. So we're going to come through and we're going to start bringing it down. We're going to let gravity pull this down. Like that. So there's one half. I didn't know, I didn't think I was going to be doing tutorials tonight, but I'm in the mood for it. Thank you, Christy. Yeah, the antler, the Rudolph turtle came out pretty cool. I showed it to Stephanie and she was like, oh my God. Now we got two halves for the heart. And it still looks really bad, okay? I get that part. But we're about to straighten it out. We're just going to put a little punty here. And I don't like making the heart shape like normal. I like creating a little bit of like a tail coming off of them. Then we're going to detach it here. Mellow that out. And just put a little hook up here. We're going to take and just attach like that. And we'll just grab it and detach it. Now the colors aren't completely coming into effect just yet, but so that's kind of like, that'll be a random piece that I throw into a box. It's not something I want to constantly try and sell, but yeah, a little different shape like that. That's all. I know it looked like turning into a swan. Yeah, baby. No, uranium glass isn't that dangerous. Honestly, it's not. Thank you, Daisy Girl. Thank you, Christy. The most dangerous glass that I have, if you want to call it that, would be like this color here, this orange, or the yellow, or the red. This stuff has can put off some toxic fumes, a little bit of it. But of all the glass that I have, this style color is the most toxic. Because it's made with cadmium, and it's the one thing you don't really want to breathe in. Why do they have to be kiln fired? The kiln firing actually tempers the glass, and it allows it to become stronger over time. Basically what happens is, well, I'll use the 0 as a visual. So when I go to make this and I assemble the head, that'll be the last part that I fuse together. It's going to be hot here, cooler down here. If I let it sit out, they would cool at different rates and create stress in the glass. When I put it in the kiln, it'll soak at 1100 degrees and then cool at the same pace, eliminating all the stress. Okay, I have to make a couple gigantic big ass marbles. I was putting it off, but I can't put it off anymore. We got to do some more big marbles. I'll pop this in. Got to wear the gloves because it gets freaking hot. All right. Shield and gloves. You know it's hot when I'm doing that. Let's move the 0. I'll leave the 0 out there. He's not going to harm anything. All right, we're good. So this is going to be a memorial marble. It looks very much... Oh, the turtle. Shit, sorry. Crap, I swore too. Yeah, he's way back there. Let me set it. Let me see if I got a little hook to hang it by. I should have a metal hook here, but I don't. I don't know where it went. All right, I guess I'll just have to hold it. So this is the little turtle with the antlers. So a little antler turtle with a Santa hat. So he's got the little antlers on there, reindeer turtle. Try and hold it that way. Like that. No, it's all good, Red Squeak. I already knew that. I saw it from yesterday. I remember. Yeah, the little turtle with the antlers, I like it. No, it's actually pretty cold in here. You guys like the turtle that much? Do you really like the turtle? Like I should make more of them is what you're saying? See, I have to go by customer feedback. I don't know what everybody loves. I have an opinion about what I like, but you, the audience and the customer, are the ones that make the decision, not me. Ultimately, you are the captain of the ship, if you will. Okay, so I got to make these big ass marbles. I'm sorry, it's going to take a little bit. These take a while to make. They are not fast. Gotta make sure I got enough material here. All right. So we're going to be adding cremains in here. No, I won't make mistletoes. There you go. So that is ashes from, that's ash from a person in there. No, I won't do Nemo either. So we're going to make memorial marble right now. I did make white trees, yeah. I have them somewhere around here. But yes, I made the white tree. It looks amazing. What's the biggest glass piece? Blown glass is my chandelier. Solid glass is my 4-foot sword. It's like a medieval looking sword, kind of. Okay, so I'm going to dip this into the cremains. We're going to pick it up like that. It's right there. Not my family. This I do a lot from people all over. And we're going to mix it in. It's one of my primary business attributes. One of my in my portfolio. Making memorial glass. Okay, so we're going to take it, we're going to dip it in again. So it picks up a lot of ash on the bigger rods. You're going to see the flame actually change. Everything behind me I've made, yes. If you see it in view, I have made it, except for my mom's clown. I did not make the clown that my mom made. Thank you, Hayden. It has zero smell. It's already gone through that process. The smell is gone because it's already been through the cremation process. So anything that was organic left is gone. Yep, I'm totally blind. I'm reading reading and glassblowing by Braille. I'm blind and they gave me a torch. They said, have fun. Okay, we're going to mix it in. Okay, so we're going to blend a little bit more, then I'm going to start adding color. Yeah, we just got done making one of the zeros. Yeah, I just got done making zero. Yeah, I am reading TikTok. Yep, these are the Meta Ray-Bans fit with custom lenses. Okay, so we have enough bulk here. Now I got to add the blue. We're going to park this off to the side. So now we're left, everywhere you see it super bright has the cremains or the ash in there. What's the hardest piece of work I've done? There's a lot of them. There's a few. But my favorite was a lamp, a chandelier that I did over a pool table. And each one of the pods that had the lights in it was a pool ball, like the pool ball itself. And that was a cool ass chandelier. Okay, we got to add blue. All right, so we're going to encase the whole thing in blue. Unfortunately, the sword is sitting behind me right now, and I can't go grab it at the moment. Okay, we're going to put a big end cap of blue up here. Okay, mellow this flame out just a little. There we go. All right, so we got to start adding this all the way around. But if you are still around after I finish this marble, I will certainly bring the sword out. So right now I'm encasing the entire section in cobalt blue. We're going to have to do 2 layers of this because this cobalt's a little bit on the lighter side. So I needed a tad darker. So we're just kind of spiraling it around. The main reason I don't do the whole thing out of cobalt is it would be way too dark. It would almost look black if this cobalt was built into the 3-inch size. It wouldn't have any light transferring through it. All right, we got to let it sit for a minute. Anybody want a soft serve? Looks like a soft serve ice cream, right? Soft serve ice cream. Oh, that's nice. Nice, Mama Steve. I know, right? It's definitely not cold. Well, unlike McDonald's, this one actually works. I don't think McDonald's ice cream ever works. All right, so this is the second layer. Now this one is going to get multiple colors bouncing through it. When I finally get completed with it, it's supposed to look like almost like a tide pool in the water. All the water swirling around with multiple colors bouncing through there. So this one is called tide pool. So we're bringing it all the way around. This part's boring, I know, but it gets better. We're almost done with the boring part. I just have to do the other side and we will be good to go. See, that second layer of cobalt darkened it up enough. And then all the cremains are right where that cobalt ends, and that little white patch inside there, that's where all the ash is. Do I need a license? You do not need a license. I did go get certified, though. I did go take an entire course on how to handle everything with the American Cremation Association. No, the gloves are just keeping the heat off of me. And it's not the glass rods that are hot, it is the radiating heat coming off this. This thing acts like a propane heating dish. It gets super hot. Okay, so we're gonna go to the other side, add in the blue, and make it work. So right now, the main goal is to blend it together. By the time this is done, this marble will be roughly 3-inch. Has to be a minimum of 3 inches. Thank you, Margaret. Maggie. We are making a cremation marble or memorial marble. This has ash from a person in it. And we are getting it all built up right now with the colors, the design and colors that they ordered. So right now I got half of it covered with cobalt. We got to take the other half, cover it with cobalt, and then we'll start applying everything. This is just bulk. Okay, this doesn't really have a shape to it per se. It's just bulk at the moment. Okay, we're going to take it down a notch. And we're going to encase it all the way around. $4,000 actually it's not 4,000, it's about 3,000 degrees of molten fun. Got your roomie Carlisle? I like Carlisles, there's nothing wrong with them. I had one for a very short time. They're very oxygen hungry though. Someday I'll make another chess set. I did one chess set. I think the next chess set I want to do is going to be Star Wars themed. I want to make like a Star Wars themed chess set. I think that would be kind of cool, to be honest. Okay, I think we got enough blue at the moment. I can come back and add more. We're going to start getting this into its shape. Move this a little bit out of the way. Need to turn on my fan because it's getting hot as hell on my face. It's cold in the room, but the heat blasting me right now is hot, even with the shield on. Warhammer chess, that would actually be kind of cool. Warhammer chess set would be kind of neat. Yeah, that would actually be kind of cool. Is someone asking about how to start? Yeah, glass beads, if you're going to start out, they're a good starting point. There's nothing wrong with that. Any dragons? Yep. I sure have one. I think there's one right behind me. You can see it right there. It's a little one right now. I have that dragon and this one. So this is the dragon. Dragon dagger. little dragon head, like that. It's a dragon head dagger. I'm actually debating on making another one of those, and instead of the sides being claws, put wings. Wings would be cool on there. So instead of that handle, have wings on the dragon there, that would be neat. Some big old dragon wings with the handle. And then the blade coming down? Yeah, that'd be kind of neat. No, I have not done any Winnie of the Pooh stuff. I mostly like to have my own design for most things. You know, I don't like trying to mimic too much. The Zero was a different story because I really like Nightmare Before Christmas. So... yeah, that part's a little satisfying right there. Right there. That's where Zero's hanging out. Flames? Yeah, I'm thinking wings, though. Make the rook an inspiration of the sloth. I don't know if I could do a very good sloth. I've been trying to think if a lot of people have actually asked for a physical looking sloth, and I haven't figured out how to make it like where I'm super comfortable. Nope, never made glass shoes. No glass shoes. You guys want to see a self-portrait? It was when I was really young. A lot of people have seen my self-portrait before. It's a self-portrait in glass. You want to see it? All right, hold on one second. Okay. Where did I put that little self-portrait? If I were my self-portrait, where would I be? I got too much glass back here. Whoa. Is it really? Huh. I must have moved it. I'll have to find it in a little bit. I think I moved it somewhere else. Okay, so we're going to have to reverse this punty rod. Oh no, I found it. Okay. This is when I was really, really, really young, and this is a self-portrait when I was really young. So that is my self-portrait. I was super young at this point. I was pretty quick. I was very fast at this age. But yeah, this is a self-portrait. we have a little fun here. Okay, so I need to punty this up, and then we're going to start applying colors. I should put spiky white hair on it, right? No, I have never tried lampshades. If I end up getting a lathe, which I will eventually, a glassblowing lathe, I will probably go into lampshades too. We're all part frog. We are all part frog. This is 31 years. I've had this lovely job for 31. Christy, thank you. Christy, thank you for hanging out. You always make the night better. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so we need to bring this down into the round marble look. Then we're going to start applying all the various colors that are going to turn it into a kind of like an ocean tides look, like a tide pool. I hate wearing gloves. I hate wearing gloves for this. Athena, thank you. Is it Athenian? Thank you so much. Do I use compressed air injection? No, I don't like the compressed air. This is just straight up kabuki. I am not a big fan of the compressed air. Okay, we're going to bring this down. All right, so we got semi-round. It's a little egg-shaped at the moment. I'm just going to call you Wonderland because I like that name. Wonderland sounds awesome. Great Ball of Fire, what's up? What's the most interesting project I've done? I don't know. There's been a few interesting projects. Let me think of like the most interesting. Give me a minute. There's been a few. So one of the interesting items I did was I forgot all about this until we talked about it like a week ago. I had done some accessories for a Harley. And it was a Road King. I don't know much about bikes, okay? I don't know much about motorcycles as far as street bikes or anything like that. But it was a Road King. Is that a Harley, like a model? And I took it and I took all the reflectors off of the bags and replaced it with glass. And then I made a custom fitting for the gas cap on top of it. So there was a glass puck, if you will, that fit over the top of it, of the gas cap itself. And I did a little bit on the side air cleaner. So like there was a side air cleaner too. and we added some accents to that out of glass, but the reflectors were the coolest part. It was dichroic, very sparkly dichroic glass for the bags. And then I did dichro on the gas cap itself, which was cool. Road King, yeah. So we added a lot of accents to that. Oops. Okay. All right, so this is just going to be random stuff all the way through here. Okay, not a particular color or pattern style to it. We're just putting random color in here because the end result is what I'm looking for. We're going to be mixing all this with like several colors. So the Road King was a cool item. The pool chandelier, the pool table chandelier was very cool. That same customer that ordered the pool chandelier also got like a 3D sculpture of 5 black labs that they had. And I had to replicate the 5 black labs from a photograph, but I had to make them in 3D, and they were big. They were about as big as the wolf. So they were like this size for the, I don't know where I can even put this. Let me move 0 off to the side. So they were about like that. They were about that size for the black labs, but each one had to be in a different pose, just like the photograph. That took an extremely long time to do. All right, where is my electrum? There it is. So that one took a long time. Okay, we're going to grab this and pull it down. And take it apart and add the same thing. We're going to add some color. Again, this is going to look totally different when I get done with it, but right now I'm just kind of throwing some color, random spots here. I don't want to use too much of this because it is extremely potent. Gonna move that off to the side. Let's grab the amber purple. So this is an amazing color. This is called amber purple, and it goes into an amber with a purple sheen to it. This is like one of my favorite colors, if not my favorite color to work with. Because while you can control it to a certain point, it's still always a mystery as to what you get. I absolutely love this color. Put a little bit right here. All right, that's getting hot. I think I'm done with that. Okay, next step. Now we have all these colors rocking all the way through. Okay, they just kind of looks like a hybrid octopus hanging out on there. I'll show you with the light. If you hang around long enough, you'll see the transformation of everything. So these are all just random colors, bouncing through. And we're gonna blend them now. This is a technique I call finger painting, but a lot of people call it different stuff. I call it finger painting because that's what it reminds me of. Yeah, we will be. Right now, I'm just making memorial marbles. Looking something for a Marine Corps emblem for your brother. Yeah, the emblem is very, very difficult to make. I would not be able to do it justice. But give your brother a big Semper Fi for me. Okay, so we're taking all this color now, and it's literally like finger painting. I'm not kidding. This has got to be one of the most fun techniques you could ever do. You just blend everything around. And it's just mixing it up. It's very zen, if you will. Very much zen. But it's going to create a really cool pattern in here. And it should, when all said and done, it should look very much like an ocean tide. Okay. So I'm going to set that blue off to the side. We're going to grab some of this darker green. Just a little bit. We're going to patch it in here just a tiny bit. Because this can be very overpowering on the whole thing. All right, got a little green in there. Last step on this portion is we're going to be adding clear on top of it. Okay, last thing. And then we're going to bounce it around to the other side. And here we go. Yeah, this is like my happy spot. I love doing this. I've been doing this 31 years. I couldn't imagine doing anything else at this point. I had debated before taking this up full time about becoming a pastry chef. That was my other consideration. But having a parent that did this as a career made it really easy to jump into this. But hopefully I can inspire a few other people to take this up and do it as a hobby or career. And don't think that you're too old. You can start at any age. In fact, if you are retired, you have a great opportunity to do this. If you're at a retired age and you want to take up a hobby that's a lot of fun, this is it. Don't sit idle by and go on cruises. Invest in some glass blowing equipment and make some fun. It's a hell of a lot more fun than any cruise ship. Okay, we're going to park that off to the side. You're 10, you can start. Yeah, actually, you can start at 10. I started at 8, so that'll give you an idea. So there we are. All right, we're going to blend all this together. Yeah, I started at 8. So 10, you can certainly start that. Wood burning? Yeah, see, that's something I couldn't do. I wouldn't be good. Is the money good? If you treat it like a business, yeah. If you're looking to make a career out of it, yes, the money can be very good. If you think that you're going to go into this and become a Picasso, no, the money won't be good. If you take it seriously like a business and you decide that you're going to make a few items really, really well, and you're going to make thousands of those items, yes, it can be very good. Actually, they do have glass blowing on cruise ships. Did you know that? I was offered a job to go on a cruise ship and become a glass blower. They do have glass blowing on cruise ships. It's the craziest thing. I would never put a torch on there, but they do have it. Yep, there is glass blowing on cruise ships. I just didn't want to be away from home for that long. That would be not very much fun for me. But yeah, they definitely have glass blowing experiences and stuff on cruise ships. I know, it's crazy as heck. What's up, Nat? All right, so we got half this marble done. We're going to finish the other half up pretty quick here. This won't take very long. But I'm going to show you what it's starting to look like. Now it's still missing the amber purple color coming in, but you can see all the swirls and stuff blended in now. So this is supposed to kind of look like an ocean tide pool. Not all the colors have come in yet, but yeah, you can see all the swirls bouncing around in there. And that is what it's supposed to look like. Sorry. I'm getting thirsty. Okay, let's do the other side. Yep, Dragonfly is a mod. I have several mods. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like, is a little bit of a wavy tide pool action. Now we just have to do the other side, match it up, and then this one will be done. I gotta wait for it to cool off. And we're going to separate it now. Park that over there. Let's add the next set of color in. So we're just going to pull this down a little thin, add some color strips in there. There we go. So this glass is really fun. This looks like liquid metal. I love this glass right here. We're just going to put a little bit of it down. Set that off to the side. We're going to grab the green and do the same thing. pull it apart. There we go. Oops. Now you know why I have safety gear on. All right, got that one done. Now I swore I grabbed some extra amber purple. I'm going to see if I have it up here. That looks straight up like clear. Does not look amber purple. That's definitely not acting like amber purple. I know I grabbed a ton of it up here and I just can't see it. That is amber purple, I believe. Oh, come on, seriously? Nope. So I got to thumb through this glass until I find what I'm looking for. That is definitely amber purple. So it has this little haze that burns off on it. So we're going to bring it down. Add it in. And that should be enough. That's enough color of all of that. Tiny bit of the dark green. And that's that. Okay, next step is we're going to blend in the blue. We have a whole bunch of just random color plopped on there. And now we got to do the finger painting. Have a good night. No, these are memorial marbles. So these actually are for a customer and they contain ash from a person in it. So they are not for sale. They are already sold. So right now I'm doing that, what I call the finger painting technique, and it's just a matter of swirling all these colors around, creating a nice little environment for what's supposed to look like ocean tide pool. My ultimate goal is to have it look like it is kind of like a tide pool swirling around in the water. And if I do it right, we'll have some nice swirls. A little bit more to go. All right, so we got plenty of blue. So now we got all that color bouncing around. Last little bit is some clear. Let me move this wolf out of the way. It's going to get in the way. So now we're going to bounce the clear off of it. Then we're going to finish the marble up. We're going to shape it all up. This bit of clear kind of adds a 3D layer to it. Last little bit, we're almost done. Tiny little bit right here. Then this one, I'm going to give a little bit of a swirl right in the center here. Just kind of spin it around. Like that. All right, so we're going to finish this marble up. We're going to get it all in shape right now. It is a giant marble. Shouldn't even be called a marble. It's more like a globe. These things are monstrous. What else can I make? I have all kinds of stuff we can do. Everything behind me, little chandelier, everything in front of me. And if you go check out some of my shorts, you can see some of my Christmas ornaments, all that fun stuff. Lots of fun stuff. Christmas ornaments, memorial stuff, a few animals. The only thing I can't really do is a horse. How heavy do sculptures get? It depends how big they are. Probably the heaviest one I have done is about 9 pounds. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but in glass world, that's a hell of a big ass piece. No, I don't do any smoking equipment. There are so many people doing that, you don't need one for me. How much does a chandelier usually cost to make? To make, it's not much. It's just time. Material-wise, it's not bad. Like the one behind me, you're probably looking at maybe $300 in glass cost. Not a whole lot. No, Zero's nose does not glow. I don't have an orange glow. I do not have an orange glow. Do I have a favorite sculpture? Yeah, I have a couple favorites. My swords my sword and daggers are two of my favorite items. And they are not really for sale at all. And then I have some, believe it or not, I have some marbles that I absolutely love, and they're so small. They're only like 1 inch. They're baby. But the design in them is so cool, I will never sell them. But everybody always asks, how big, what's your biggest item? But in reality, I'm going to bring this in as close as I can. So that is an itty bitty hummingbird right there. That is a full hummingbird out of glass. That is more difficult than a big ass item. Making that tiny little hummingbird. And that one fits inside of a dime. So if you have a physical dime, that one will fit inside the circle of a dime. All right, we're getting pretty close to finishing this one up. I'm going to have to switch the punty to the other side and we will finish this one up. So what I'm looking for on here are the reflections of the lights coming off the ceiling and the sidewall. As I'm rotating it, if you see the lights jumping up and down, especially towards where that glass rod is, you can see the light just kind of wobbly all over the place. That's telling me I have some high and low spots. And when those lights are smooth, then I know I don't have any of those spots anymore. All right, last little run on this portion, then we're gonna switch the punty and this marble will be done after that. I'll be excited because I spent way too long on this one. All right, let's grab a punty. It's a big punty, but I don't care. Actually, I'm gonna change to a blue one. I happen to have one right here. It's gonna go much better. Then we just have to wait. Yeah, punty, P-U-N-T-Y. I have no idea what gave it that name. I hate that name. I don't like the name punty. But I believe it's from the Italian word pontile. I think it comes from the Italian version pontile. If I remember correctly, I think that's what it's from. If anybody knows Italian, they might be able to confirm that. What's my opinion about cowbell and so? I have no opinion on cowbell. Zero. Oh my God, see, glass is not that fragile. Damn it. All right, last little bit. What state am I in? Confusion. I'm in Washington. How long did it take to train? So I'm a little different. I grew up with it. My mom started glassblowing when I was 2 years old. And so I was lucky enough to have grown up with it. So I'm not a good gauge. However, I can tell you that if you dedicate some time to it, like 2 hours a day for 6 months, roughly, you will get quite good. In 6 months, you will be amazing. If you spend 1 hour a week, probably not. It'll take you a long time. I've seen people in 1 year doing phenomenal stuff, and I've seen people that have been doing this 20 years that suck. I mean, it's just a fact. And the most important thing, I guess, here's the most important lesson if you ever want to start this, and I think it applies to any art form. If you are not pushing yourself, then you're never going to get better. You know, if you find that you make one little thing and you're like, oh, I'm happy with that, I'm just going to stay in that little world, that's where you'll always be. If I'm not breaking something once a week, I'm not trying hard enough. That's kind of how I look at it. If I don't break something once a week, I'm not trying. Okay, so we're almost done with this. This is looking fantastic. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to show you in the light what it looks like. Is it Bree? Thank you so much for the jewels. Okay, so next step is I'm going to show you what it looks like in the light. This color, it should look like kind of like a tide pool. Okay, that is the ultimate. Oops, crap, almost had an accident right there. So it should kind of look like it has a tide pool effect to it. I'm gonna bring it way out here so you can see. You see, it's got like all these little ocean tide swirls running throughout the whole thing. And that is the whole goal behind it. Wherever you look at it, there are no two spaces looking the same. Be able to stare at this thing for hours. Okay, and then this tool right here is made by Dragonfly Creation. She sells you, if you are a glass blower and you do not have these, you are missing out. It's like one of my favorite tools. Okay, we're gonna bring it in here. So the most common question is, how do you get it off the stick? All right, and here we go. Ready? Like that. And now that is all smoothed out, now I just have to wait for it to cool down before I pop it in the kiln. Because if I throw it in there now, it's going to roll over onto that part right there and make a dent. Yeah, they are barbecue tongs and salad tongs. Absolutely. But you can definitely see the colors bouncing through here now. There's my little wolfie. Yeah, and these are spark plug covers for spark plugs. I keep saying I got to change these out and I forget, because these are definitely worn out. They've seen a thing or two. All right, so there's the marble. Okay, I think for me, that's gonna call it. It's been a, oh yeah, you wanna see the sword? Type 1 in the chat if you wanna see the sword. I'll bring it out. If you wanna see the sword, just type 1 in the chat and I will bring it out for a brief moment. I have no problem doing that. I just wanna make sure there's enough interest in it. Oh wow, TikTok's showing a whole bunch of 1s. Okay. Let's grab the, we'll grab the sword. I have to stare at my ass though, sorry. Okay, I have to sit way back here for it because it does not fit in the camera by itself. So there is the version of it. You can see it is 4 feet long. And there is the handle. So that's about as much as I can show because it just doesn't fit in the camera. Everything is solid except for this little bobble right here is hollow. That is hollow. The rest of it is solid. And this is why I said it has to sit way back here. I can't fit it in the camera. Just doesn't fit. So put that away. I got to find a nice spot to hang that somewhere. And then its baby brother is right here. So this is the little dagger that goes like that. This one has a much better blade. I love the blade on this. You know, the blade came out perfect on this. There. So that's its little baby brother. Anyway, it is time for me to call it a night. It is almost 11. So I appreciate everybody hanging with me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and the follow. It really helps a lot. And the likes. That stuff helps me a lot. And it'll keep me, keep the live stream jumping up there. So I'm going to sign off on TikTok. You guys have a good night. Thank you so much. You have a good night on TikTok. And that one is done. YouTube, you guys were amazing tonight. Thank you for making my night so freaking good. Dragonfly, thank you so much for kicking butt tonight. I know it was a tough job. Dragonfly is my moderator. Amazing. And Red Squeak too. So thank you all. I really appreciate you. You made my night hella fun. I sincerely mean it. I appreciate it. So thank you. You all have a good night.